How's it going, everyone? Um, Back with another Abzan stream. Um, so I think this is the same list from the last time I streamed. I think the one slot I'm kind of iffy about is this Celestial Purge. Um, when I first threw this list together, I think I had Purge originally in there. I think the only white card I really splashed for at the time was Stoneforge Mystic and a Wonder Celestial Purge on the board. And then slowly I've been adding more white cards. I added a Path Main over like a Cast Down. Gaddock T has been really good, so there's a lot more white cards peeking in there. How's it going? How's it going, Poison Lee? Thanks for tuning in. So I think the Kasali Pride Mage I really like against like the Stoneforge Mystic and like the Wilderness Reclamation decks. Kaya's Gal has proven to be worthy, so I think it's cool to really reanalyze and kind of rethink what sideboard cards we want, because a lot can change. I think I've played this Stoneblade list for about a month or two now. And I've kind of kept the 75 relatively the same, but I've noticed there's a lot more blue decks getting more popular. So like we do have like cards against it in the board. Like Gaddock Teak's pretty good against like Sylvan Reclamation, Cryptic Command, Veil of Summer, and then we have like Ashok, which is pretty good. So maybe we don't need this to be like a Lingering Souls, or like I was thinking of the Lingering Souls or like the Kaya's Gal, which I would board in Kaya's Gal against the blue decks, but then I also would board in Lingering Souls also. So it's like I don't know if I think we already have a lot for that matchup. Maybe I just keep the Purge. Maybe Choke and stuff. Yeah, I don't know about Choke, because I know like these lists have been running Wilderness Reclamation, and that card just laughs at Choke. My experience with Choke against those decks have not been that great. Boil, on the other hand, is really good. So like if you're playing Jund, Boil is just way better. But in our Abzan colors, I just don't know if Choke is enough. I haven't like choked before Wilderness Reclamation, and then now that all these blue decks are adding Wilderness Reclamation, just makes it kind of embarrassing in my opinion. Yeah, I was on Gruul, so I know how you feel. Gruul is a really good deck. I think if there was like a GP that I really wanted to do well at tomorrow, I would just play Gruul. Gruul is really good. But I'm just playing this archetype for fun, trying to make it work, trying to tune it, and I really like this deck. I will gladly admit Gruul and Jund is just flat out better, but this deck is fun, so I'm just kind of having fun with it while we're stuck in quarantine. And that being said, like I actually been doing pretty well with this deck, so I'm kind of just riding the wave. Yeah, it's definitely the best mid-range deck. I agree, and that's the reason why I have Celestial Purge, because we need an answer against Klothys or Blood Moon. It's just awkward because like we would rarely fetch basic planes against that deck, so like having basic planes and Celestial Purge kind of line up is awkward. But having an answer to Klothys is pretty big game. Like Klothys is just almost unwinnable once it hits the board early on. Maybe I'll just keep the Purge. Like I kind of want a Lingering Souls, just cause kind of like a meme, and plus it's kind of nice having that evasive body, and it's just good to have multiple bodies for all these equipment. It's one of those things where like I don't want Lingering Souls in the main deck. It just feels so anemic with how powerful Modern has gotten. But that being said, there's matchups where you kind of just want those multiple bodies, so if one of them dies, you can just equip it to the other one. So I feel like it's like a sideboard card, right? I feel like it's just relegated to that role. And I think the card that I would cut for the Souls is just the Celestial Purge. Because against like Kraus and Shadow, it's like we already have good matchup against that. And then against... and like we would board Lingering Souls in those matchups anyway. So as a meme, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna run Lingering Souls. I'm just gonna try it out and see how it goes, and then because I feel like all the matchups we would board in Celestial Purge, we'd board in Lingering Souls, except for like Burn. But even against Burn, like we already have all the removal for it. Like I board in the Purge just because it kills everything. And even against like Blue-Red Prowess, it doesn't kill like Storming Entity. And that's the kind of like the scariest card, really. And I hate having spot removal that doesn't kill everything. And that's what's really, really, really annoying in the sideboard. Like, if you have Fatal Push main, it's not that big of a deal. Because, like, it's a main deck card. But when it's a sideboard card that doesn't kill everything, that's when, I don't know, maybe it's just me being OCD. But it's just like, it's a sideboard card. Like, it's tailored for certain matchups, and if it doesn't do its job, which is be a one from a removal spell, like, why is it in your sideboard? Right? So, so Lingering Souls, I haven't played with the Lingering Souls in a hot while, so it'll be interesting. So let me update the Stream Decker. It's just one difference. So, and then we can start this league real quick. Yeah, it's hard because we were kind of good against Jund a long time ago, but ever since Bloodbraid Elf got printed, it's gotten a lot harder. And now they have like Seasoned Pyromancer and Ren and 6, like that's just not where we want to be anymore. But this hand is kind of a loose keep. We have no interaction, but we can grind, so it's like as long as we're in a matchup where it's a grind fest, like this hand's fine. Bloodstained is just the Shadow, probably. Mill. Okay. Alrighty. Well, this is probably our best draw against Mill, because it's the fastest clock. I mean, does it really matter with Mishra's Bauble, really? Because like we're just gonna get our cards milled anyway. So maybe I just play this and just play our Hex Drinker. Man, opponent's so good. We really need a Fatal Push off the top. No, they're just clocking themselves pretty fast too. Oh, it is Mill. Oh, it's fine. You're right. You are right. Well, this Scavenging Ooze will be good. I wish we're on the play though. Oh no, is this Soul Flare? Nope, it's just Vengefine. You're right. Huh. They're going off. I guess we can see what their next card is. Land. Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna get steamrolled here. We're actually not in that bad of a state, but if they have another land for that Uro, we're kind of screwed. Yeah, I agree. Do I just play the Skoos? Just have all the green mana? If they escape this Uro, we're kind of fucked. But I think that's our out here. Is just this Scavenging Ooze because it goes unmolested. Yeah, if we had a removal spell for the crab, we would have been in better shape. Or just a turn 1 discard spell too. No, they have Uro. Oh, and now they're gonna bring all these ghouls back. Just gonna concede here. Yeah. How's it going, Mr. Jurassic Park? Thanks again for tuning in. Yeah, we're done. Good game. These Veils look pretty bad. So they have like Hedron Crab, Vengevine. So it's like trying to figure out if we want this engineered explosives and these plague engineers. I feel like the answer is I think the plague engineers seem okay. What's that card called? Silvers, gold. What type is it? It is a zombie vampire. So I guess we can bring in Plague Mans just because we can name zombie against them. It's kind of loose. I don't know. I think the explosives might be a little too slow. So we gotta board out 4 cards. Maybe the Hex Shrinkers are just not... I mean, maybe the Hex Shrinkers are good because they can, like, fight through board state. I think discard spells are actually good, too. Maybe we just board out the trophies, because, like, spot removal wasn't going to do anything. They, like, already have push, path. Maybe we don't want the Feast and Famine, because we don't want them to discard. But then, yeah, so well, they have black creatures, so maybe we want this just to like fight through board states. Maybe that 7 that I had was should have been a mulligan, just because we had no interaction. But I felt like the hand was fine against like other things, like just mid-range blue decks in general, right? I don't think we can mulligan like. I think hindsight's 2020. I think that hand's a good is a keeper in the open. Maybe I just trim a Hex Trigger. I think it's better. Solid. And we're on to Glimpse. Super Keeper. I guess I just take the Secret Keeper. You only have 1 land. If we hope that they don't top deck a second land, we can take both Glimpses, but maybe we just take the Secret Clipper just to slow them down. Because like, this is a card that they can definitely cast. But like them milling 10 cards is huge too. Yeah, I think I do take Secret Keeper. I'm just like really thinking. I'm like double checking if I really do want to take it. Then like my knee jerk reaction is to take the Secret Keeper. But with your reasoning, Andrew, I think I agree with you that like I think Secret Keeper is the take. It's just like I'm trying to compare their ceiling play, which is if they draw a second land, they go and they have 2 Glimpses in hand. I think that's really, really bad for us. But I do think Secret Keeper is the take. But I'm just thinking, what's the alternative line, and if that is, if that's worth playing out. Which I think it just goes back to the knee jerk. What I think should be the take originally is probably just correct, but I want to think of all the possible lines, right? Because with the second discard spell, taking both Glimpses and hoping the top 4 cards doesn't do much is kind of a real deal too. But I do think that taking the guaranteed castable spell when they only have 1 land is more than enough reason to just take the Secret Kicker. The real question is, do I cast as Thoughtseize on turn 2 also? And I don't know. Oh, shit. Yep. I think I just play the Stoneforge Mystic, and then hopefully the Thoughtseize does work here. Them fetching kind of makes me feel like they have the land in hand. Yes. I like a backspell. Because I don't know why, unless they just are confident that they will draw land. Yeah, they just have it. Okay. So, don't be good, anything good. Okay, that's not... That could be a lot worse. That could be a lot worse. I will take that. So they have no amalgams or anything either. So this is actually pretty good. We're in a pretty good spot here. So the Thoughtseize. Take their glimpse. And now their hand is absolute ass. Oh, sweet. Yeah, they just can't beat a battle skull at that point. Makes sense. Makes sense, makes sense. Do we want to change anything on the draw? I still don't think I want trophies. It's like, do I want the explosives? I think the answer is still no. Even on the draw, it's even worse. Yeah, which is kind of the case. Which is why I keep like all the discard spells in. Like against Dredge, like I trim one copy. But like this deck definitely falls to like interactive spell. Oh, he actually built the deck? That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Andrew. I think explosives are weak on the draw. I agree. €100. I wonder what that means. And do I bring in Lingering Souls into that matchup? Is Lingering Souls better than Hexdrinker? I think the answer is yes. Yep, us Americans. We're fucking idiots. No, it is $118. That's fair. What were you missing? It was like, what's expensive in that deck that you're missing? If it's like mana, then it's like, well, that's a pretty worthwhile purchase, I think. But are Vengevines expensive? No, right? Oh, okay. So what were you missing? Oh, our Glimpse the Unthinkables those are really expensive, right? Or did they get reprinted? Because I know those are pretty expensive. Expensive back in the day. Sounds pretty ass. I can't do anything until the first 3 turns. That's some mulligan. Ah, crabs are expensive. Interesting. I think I have to keep this hand. Bottom of bauble. Bottom. You only buy Japan cards. My friend also does that. All he does is buy Japanese cards. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Well, me holding up this Fatal Push definitely didn't work out. Okay, that was a good for us. They milled nothing. Hopefully they just have nothing in hand. Hopefully they're just leaning on the Stitcher Supplier. Which they are. That's all they're doing. It's perfect for us. Get Mr. B Skull. Let's batter some skulls here. Yeah, into that plague. They got the second land though. Just play more Grave Callers. No, why would you do that? That's rude. Alright. I'm just scared of this. But it's only 3. So they're all zombies. I just want to double check. Yeah. Plague Man. Naming the zombies. Okay. Yep. Don't mill anything good. Nice. Alright. Sweet. The hands would be good here. Do you want to play Sword or do you want to play Lingering Souls? I think I just like the clock on with the sword is a lot faster, but if they draw a removal spell for the Plague Engineer, that's really bad. The ceiling on the sword is a lot higher. If they had a removal spell for the Plague Engineer, they would have played it already, I think. So let's just play the sword. Yoo-hoo, yay! Alrighty. Off to a good start. Fucking Crabvine. Don't you just love Modern? Well, Modern, you just see all those things. Yeah, like that hand really leaned on Stitcher Supplier. So like them leaning on Stitcher Supplier, it's only 3 cards. It's kind of anemic. I don't know. I don't think that's worth. That's really risky, I guess, is to put it. But that goes back to your main point, right? Where like the deck is fragile. They can kill you turn 2. If I wanted to play a deck that could kill you on turn 2, I think I'd rather just play Neobrand, and it seems like Neobrand is a little bit more consistent on the turn 2 kill without having the fragility of it. I feel like, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's to each their own, right? Like, I know a lot of people like that kind of style of deck, and that's why it's still around. I respect it. I just, yeah. You're 100% right. It's kind of like, when dredge out Hogak and they just go turn 2 Hogak, you're like, well, you can't do anything about it. And even if you have path for it, like, all right, well, they just have prize, like 4 prize islands. Yeah. Definitely. It's one of those, like, high ceiling, low floor decks, Yeah. That's, yeah, exactly. Exactly. This hand is really awkward. I kind of want to mulligan this because, like, I don't have anything until turn 3 because I really don't want to cast this on turn 2. Opponent said, hi, good luck. Thank you, you too. I kind of want to mulligan this on the draw. I think on the play, I think I would have kept this. I think this hand is too loose. This hand's a lot better. Do I just bottom basic planes? Or do I bottom the trophy? I think bottom the trophy. Ensure my turn 3 Liliana. It's either basic play or trophy. And I think I want to have the third land for sure. So I can just I ensure I can curve out. I could see arguments for both, and maybe this line is wrong. But oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Basic Mountain Mishra's Bauble. Mishra's Bauble. I feel like I'm gonna get Blood Mooned here. What is this? I'm gonna play against some stupid deck, aren't I? I'm gonna regret not keeping in Celestial Purge on my sideboard. Oh, so this is like... So let's just burn with Lurrus? Do I just take light up the stage? Guess I should have played Basic Mountain. Or Basic Swamp. I feel like I took light up the stage. Yeah, famous last words. I don't know about Manamorphosing here. His hand is pretty... Our opponent's hand is pretty stocked. I feel like there's a time and place for Manamorphose, and I think... Unless you just have... unless you drew something, but you drew Manamorphose that turn. That's so weird. Bedlam Reveler. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't get that line. Do I play a Scavenging Ooze to like save 2 life? Because he has Spike, Slash. He's gonna Slash or Scooze. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I just play land and pass. Don't give him an opportunity to Slash or Scooze, and we can literally on the next turn. Plays the Mountain. Yeah. I mean, he can just triple burn spell us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 1 short for Bedlam Reveler. Unless he drew exactly Manamorphose. Okay. So he's saving Wild Splash. Interesting. Pitch this land because I don't want to take any more damage. Pitch the Slash. Okay. They have a Lava Dart in the graveyard, something to think about. Keep in mind. Okay. Hopefully just have nothing. Hopefully it's not a Bedlam Reveler. That might really be really bad for us. Crash through. Okay. Oh, they drew the Reveler. Gosh darn it. That's really bad. They just got lucky with the Reveler. That's annoying. Darn. The interesting question is, do I like trade my Scavenging Ooze for the Reveler in a sense, because I have to chump block it and then minus the Liliana? I think the answer is no, just because they have the Lava Dart, so they can just like, if I block, they can just minus the Liliana anyway. And I think my avenue to victory is really just equipping the sword onto the Scavenging Ooze. Interesting they have Mishra's Bauble in their deck though. It's really interesting. Missing that Celestial Purge. Mistakes were made. Gosh, they just lucked into a Bedlam Reveler. That's so annoying. Okay. They Lava Dart my Scavenging Ooze. Ah, they have another Lava Dart. Makes sense. Makes sense. How's it going, Basic Land Shark? Thanks for the compliment. Really appreciate it. I guess Bauble is like free, so it makes sense. I think I want to crack this P-Land. I think we need to draw a Liliana here. Or a Path. Not another sword. So that's well, okay, so here if we top deck like a Stoneforge Mystic, we can play it and equip it, and we actually might be in a decent spot. Because then we can like play a Battle Skull. Oh no. Metamorphose is a good start for them. I encourage all trolling in the chat. I encourage all of it. No. So we go to 5. Real troll 4 with this Lava Dart. Can go to 3. So Tarmogoyf, Stoneforge Mystic, any creature would be a good draw. Lurrus is 1 mana short from doing anything. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we can chump here and gain some life, but not being able to bring back a Scavenging Ooze or equipping it with a sword is really bad for us. We're just 1 land short. Maybe I wasn't supposed to plus the Liliana and discarding the land. I don't know. I feel like discarding the land was fine. I feel like we needed to put them in a situation where we can minus the Liliana. It's tough stuff. Targeting me. You know what's on top of my deck. So we're back in the same spot. We need a 2-drop. Okay. I think it's worth bobbling ourselves here. Doesn't matter. Yeah, because like I want to know if I'm gonna have a trophy. And if I have a trophy, then I won't play the sword. If I have a path or a push, then I know I can just play this and it'll be fine. Blooming Marsh, we're just dead. Unfortunate. So I'm predicting they have Blood Moons. So just I think Spell Bombs are going to be okay. Okay, Kai's Gal is pretty good. We're out the Thought Seizes. I don't like Hex Drinkers against a Lava Dart deck. We're in Explosives and Souls. Maybe just go like this. Maybe just go like this. Probably. I don't know. I do miss Purge. this could have been a Celestial Purge, but we'll see. Maybe Lingering Souls will be good in this matchup. In this game, we'll see. And against that matchup, like Bedlam Revelers, kind of a hard threat to remove. We have Trophy, we have Path. We could have veiled them, but it is hard. I just go like this though. Let's try this. 12 viewers, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys like the Abzan content. If you guys want to support the stream, you guys can follow me on Twitch and Twitter. This hand is a keep. And you guys can follow me on. You can also tune into my YouTube channel for past streams. I've been streaming a lot of Abzan lately, so you guys can check that out as well. All the info is on the bottom. Soul Scar Mage. There. Appreciate the kind words, Mr. Jurassic Park. Hope your budget Abzan situation is doing good. I think I get I think I play Stoneforge Mystic, fetch. Fetch Batterskull. Or I think actually getting Sword of Fire and Ice is better here. I mean, if you want to spam the Rhino notification, you can. I don't care, but I don't like Damping Spear because the prowess actually doesn't really matter to us. Like, our removal just still kills them. It slows them down, but I don't think it slows them down enough to warrant a sideboard card. I'd rather just have more removal, is my thought process there. How's it going, Roundsley? I love the emote spam you always do. I don't think Damping Sphere is a bad sideboard card. I don't think it's a good sideboard card either. I think it's like with our just the way our this matchup just becomes so like like a battle of attrition. It's hard to like. I feel like I want my cards to do something. It ends up being kind of like a mid-range deck, like matchup where like you kind of want all your cards to do something, and it's difficult to do that when Damping Spear isn't really a card. It's more of a tempo play, I guess. And as a tempo play, that doesn't really shut them down. Like I think Trinisphere is different. I think if I had Trinisphere would be amazing because that card actually slows them down to a crawl. While I think stuff like Manamorphose, like paying 1 for a Lava Dart doesn't really do anything, but making the pay 3 for everything is where it becomes really taxing. So I think I like Trinisphere against these kind of decks, but not Damping Spear. Just play more 1-drops. Just play more 1-drops. It's fine. Trust me. It's not that big of a deal. Do I just want to Veil him again? Do I want to just Veil them again? So the lines are either play Liliana or play Tarmogoyf, hold up Path, and I can just EE. I think I like just playing Tarmogoyf. And then if I want to EE them, I can EE them next turn. Yeah, I agree. Doing good. Glad to see you, man. So I actually came into contact with the guy that 5-0'd with the Traverse version. I think it's also the one that has like Questing Beast and stuff, right? The list is pretty cool. It has like Grim Flares, I think, also. I think it's total playstyle. I don't really like the removal suite of that deck, to be completely like blunt about it, because it's like 1 decay, 1 pulse, 1 trophy, and I don't know, maybe it's just me being OCD about it, but I like having a more consistent mana base there. So I'm gonna block, and if they bolt, I can just, it's fine. So here, I mean, I think it's actually worth pathing, because in that way, if we get a land off the top, we can sword equip and just kill the other one. And then they just waste a bolt. So I mean, it sucks giving him a land, but would you ever co-stream? Oh, hell yeah. I would love to co-stream. I don't know what the logistics are of that. I'm assuming it has to involve with like Discord or Skype or something. But I would definitely be down to do that. Sounds fun. And now this sort of Fire and Ice is just going to take over the game. And this is kind of the package that Rock doesn't have. These swords are really good. So like comparing Rock and Abzan, just you don't need to splash a lot for white. Like just Stoneforge Mystic as the only white card worth splashing for, which what I've been experimenting with, is totally worth it. So I think it's something to really think about if you're just playing Rock, to see if the white splash is worth it. I did it with another stream today. It was easy with Discord. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be down. I know I tuned into your stream a couple times, Basic Landstark, and I'm actually a pretty big fan of you as well. Yeah, I'm totally down. Totally down. It's always fun, kind of collabing. Sophie Scoop. 6 Gargamel? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but appreciate the follow. Thank you for tuning in. Very, very grateful. I love my Siege Rhino follow notification. I don't know. It's a little pat on myself on the background. It's just really funny. Okay, them lava spiking us, I'll take it. If that's your turn 1 play and I don't have any rule in hand, sounds good to me. It's nice to meet you too, Basic Land Shark. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm a big fan of yours as well. I think I just take the Dismember. And then this Goyf is big. It's a 3/4. And they would have to slash and giant it. I like taking Dismember here. And if they spell all those resources on it, And then we can just Lurrus bring it back. And like now, if I'm assuming they're gonna try to, I'm assuming they board in a Blood Moon, and we're just totally insulated against it. There you go. Should have probably used Burn since you have 2 and you need white eventually. I think this is the point where I really like how I built this deck in the terms of I can function without the white. And like I'd rather have a Liliana than a Stoneforge Mystic, I think, and I can just pitch the Stoneforge Mystic. It does suck if I do draw a Stoneforge Mystic, but it's like I'm probably gonna get a Triumph with this anyway, or a Godless Shrine, so it doesn't really matter. So, oh, there you go. There you go. You do your thing. You do your thing. Yes. You just have no cards in hand. That's exactly what I want to happen. But I can see your argument there. If I'm gonna fetch basic swamp anyway, I think you're right. Maybe I think actually now that I think about it, I think you're right. You doing another modern stream using in the near future? That's up to Saint Doom. He's the one that manages it. I know there's some issues with continuing it. I've been trying to rally him to continue it. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he wants to continue. I definitely want to continue. It's definitely fun. Scavenging Ooze. I think I just get the Scoif online. I get there's also a line of like Liliana plussing, but then like I think I'd rather just be ahead on board. It's just so tough for them to deal with a Tarmogoyf. I'm gonna screen capture Roundsley you requesting a Modern Streamers League, so I'm gonna send it to Saint Doom. Sure. And then we're just so ahead. Get this Triome here. Triome is so good. So good. Like, I think if Jun got the Triome, I'd be pretty upset. Because that's at least something that we can have that Jun doesn't have as a Triumph. The Triumph has just been really, really, really good for us. Because like situations like these where like you have double black for Liliana, white for Stoneforge Mystic, and then double green for Scavenging Ooze. Like this Triumph just fixes the mana like perfectly. It seems like it would be really bad, but in practice, like if you're playing Abzan, play one Triumph. It's so good. Modern staple wild slash. Yeah, baby. I mean, Jund has already has like tap lands. They run the cyclers. I don't see why they would just not like run a Triome instead of a like a what's it? Not I don't know the black. So like I've noticed like they play like the black cycling land. I don't remember what it's called, and the green red one. And it's like if they're already playing the green red one, why don't you just play the Triome? I don't see what like how that is a cost. I'm debating if I want to plus with this Liliana here. Because like, so the thing about this hand is I'm definitely gonna push the Soulscar Mage, right? But do I cast this Inquisition? And if I do cast this Inquisition, do I plus this Liliana? So like, what cards could they have in hand that they're not casting? Like, I feel like if they had any burn spell, they would have killed this Liliana. It could just be lands. It could be a Bedlam Reveler. So I think I just like not casting this Inquisition, pushing the Soulscar Mage, and then just maybe casting the Scavenging Ooze just to get more pressure. You think I would have spanned the Rhymes during the league when you're... That'd be great, because I know there's a lot of people in that in the league that shit on me for playing Siege right now, and I love my Siege right now. I don't think I'm gonna win the trophy. I think just holding it for just having removal is good enough. I suspect if they had anything, they would just cast it. So I think this Inquisition is actually just dead. Oh, they had to light up the stage. Never mind. And then they they don't have anything. Sweet. I've seen Sunless run Baron more, and I've seen Sunless run the red one. Can't remember the name of it. And then I've seen Sunless run the red-green one. So yeah, in my Neoform sideboard. I'm glad you remember that. I literally ran Neoform because everyone in the league hated it, and I just did it for the memes. It was really funny. Yeah, I like not Shelter. Is it Shelter Thicket? I don't know Junglands. Shelter Thicket? Yeah, Shelter Thicket. How's it going, Mr. Zarakai? How's it going? I don't think you've tuned into any of my Abzan streams, Zarakai. You've only tuned into my Gruul ones. This is the good side here. This is the non-dark side. So yeah, we'll see this later on. Have a good night, Poisonly. Or Carlos, I think your name was Carlos, right? Thanks again for tuning in, I really appreciate it. Rhinos for the win. What the heck is this pile? It's my baby, man. It's my baby. It's the old Abzan pile. What do you mean? It's a beautiful, beautiful pile. I love it. Just because it doesn't run Blood Moon, you know, that was a dark. You gotta realize, Mr. Zarakai, like, every time I stream Gruul, like, honestly, like, I think every time, or maybe like 80% of the time, someone would pop in the chat and be like, wait, this isn't Abzan, and I'm like, I know, I'm playing Gruul now. Is it amazing too? Oh, you. I refer to the Western stream as anything Monday around 11 Eastern. I don't care if this is cringe. I'm assuming that's PM. Because if it's PM, I would be totally down to do that. If it's 11 if it's 11 Eastern at night, I would totally be down. This hand is okay. I don't think I can mulligan a hand like that. Have you still been I know you've been liking Maze Mind Tomb in your list. I've seen it on your Twitter, and I pop in the Pawns of the Discord every now and then, and it's literally like normal talk, normal discussion. Oh hey, Maze Mind Tomb, and it's like normal discussion, normal discussion. By the way, Maze Mind Tomb. I'm like, oh my god. I will that guy that pops in and be like, this post. Hey, my hand last game did not fold to Blood Moon. I'm just going to throw that out there. Just FYI. I'm going to... This could be Infect. I'm assuming this is Infect. But I think it's safe to wait until the end step of my opponent's turn to Bubble Scar myself. I'm still new to Companions. We can play Companion creatures like without being new. Yep, exactly. So Mr. Jurassic Park, you can play as many Lurruses as you want. Like, if you can just literally ignore that companion text if we just run it normally. What the fuck? Interesting. So I want to know if I remove a spell on top. I have a Temple Garden. I do not want the Temple Garden. So I'm going to play Trio. Hopefully I draw Fatal Push. And the next 2 cards, I do not. So I think I'm like incentivized to trophy this. Which sucks. If we were on the play, this would be so much better. Yeah, I think I just have to trophy the Bant Stoneblade, yep. Am sadly. Oh, yeah, I work on Monday. I work I have a normal like 9 to 5 schedule. So sadly I will not be able to do that. That's why I like stream at night usually. Just Goif bounce. In combat. Do I have to trophy this Sophie? Golly, this sucks. Like, our hand does not line up well against this. What do you mean by Goif bounce in combat? What do you mean by that? No, because my Goif would be a 2-3 and they would be a 3-4 because of Exalted. So I think you just have to trophy this, as bad as that is. Like, we can't just like untap, and we just need to kind of like start progressing with our board, right? I should have just done end step. Gosh darn it, I fucked up. Okay, at least we didn't get punished for that. I can play Stoneforge Mystic here. I could see playing Liliana, but like it just seems so anemic. I think we just get Feast and Famine. Something that we know that we can tack through. Yeah, I get if there's a day where you can stream in the evening, I would 100% be down. And you're on the East Coast too, so like it kind of makes it a little more difficult too. Oh fuck me, Jace. I'm down to coordinate something too. It doesn't have to be a weekday either. If you stream on the weekends, and obviously I don't work on the weekends, so that could also work for us as well. Just let me know. We can always talk on Twitter or whatever social media you use, and we can touch base later. Why am I not on Jund? Because I am not a filthy Jund player. That makes it easy to say. Man, that I think that's why I concede that Jund is the better deck. But this is just more fun, and I think Modern's at that point where you can kind of play what you want. I think it's open enough where if your deck has a certain floor power level, you can kind of do well with anything, and I think that's how I feel about this deck. So like I said earlier in the stream, like I am like if I played at a GP tomorrow, I would probably play Gruul. Just because I think that deck has a better power level, is a higher power level, it just has a higher ceiling. That being said, I think, my gosh, they're just going ham. But that being said, like, we're in quarantine, there's nothing real special going on right now, so it's like I'm just gonna play whatever is fun. So your wife's pets. That's a pretty good excuse. Not gonna lie, man. These quaddles are getting in there. I could Thoughtseize and play 2 threats. We need a spot removal spell off the top though, so we can kind of answer these quaddles. But we're taking a lot of damage here. Oh no. Their board just stake out really good. Yeah. And that's the hard part about this matchup. Is they're just all these snow decks, they just like outvalue us so easily. I agree. I think Ponza is the best Gen deck. And that's why, like, if I had a GP tomorrow, that's the deck I would play. I agree 100% with you. This game is over. Abzan is just like, just to be frank, like, Abzan is just not that great. I hate to say it, but it's just not that good. But that being said, it's like on a tier like 3 power level, maybe closer to tier 4. And I think that's just the nature of the deck. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing when the meta is flat. But when you pair up against a deck like this where they just play the grind game better than you, that's where you kind of get outclassed. Which is unfortunate, but... So they have Stoneforge Mystics, so it's like, do we board out? Like, what do we board out? Like I want to bring in all these cards, but then I'm kind of incentivized to keep in Fatal Pushes. I guess not if I just have answers to the equipment, like trophies and Kasali Pride Mage. So maybe I just actually board out the Fatal Pushes because they're just so bad. I like Hexdrinker. Hexdrinkers, I think, is one of those cards that will just break the board state. Like, do we want these Kaya's Guiles and Ashioks? Do we even want Veil of Summer? We saw no counter magic. So it's like... I can see, like, these cards being bad. Like, I kind of want the Gaddock Tea because they have Cryptics and Chases. It's just like, do we really want the Yard Hate? I think I do want the Yard Hate because of Uro. Maybe I don't want the Veils. Maybe the Veils are just too bad. Do you want to play for Snake? That's another card I was thinking too. Like, historically, I've boarded in against them and I've liked it just because, like, it trades versus the Tormaglyph. But this is before the Stoneforge package. So now that I have, like, 2 swords that protect against it, I'm, like, I feel less bad not having Plague Engineers. I want the Lingering Souls. Maybe Veils are just bad. Because, like, they just don't run as much counter magic as I really originally thought. Alright, Basic Land Shark. Have a good night. I really appreciate you tuning in. "61st cut." Did I just trim a Goyf? Sure. Thanks again for tuning in, Basic Land Shark. Really appreciate it. Thanks, man. Sure. Just get all equipment. Just give me all the equipment. Just give it to me. So, I think I'm actually going to fetch the Batter Skull here. So, yay. I really appreciate it, man. This hand is definitely a lot better on the play. On the draw, it's a little slow. Let's see. Land is not that great. Hopefully, they're just gonna fetch a land. Okay. Fair. Give me my skulls. All the better skulls. Worst card off the top would be a Sword of Feast and Famine, which would be really awkward. Hopefully, I don't draw that. Discard spell would be a good draw. That's not a discard spell. I think we just say go. Oh, don't yield, don't yield, don't yield, don't yield. Sure. Didn't want to yield because if they like path and response, that'd suck. So we don't get to bring a skull in play. So now we can batter skull and equip with the sword next turn, which is pretty decent. Okay. Hopefully a Stoneforge Mystic takes over this game here. You know, if they path the germ, it's like whatever. Yep. Fine with me. I really hope so. I really hope so. We do need the support. As an Abzan devotee, we got the Stoneforge Mystic unbanned, and that was about it. And which has been nice, but we definitely need more. If they Quaddle mains, or oh, Knight of Autumn. Okay. So here I can see play Stoneforge Mystic and Gaddock Teague. Or I can like return Battle Skull too. We have 6 mana, so we can like play Teague, pick Stoneforge, hold up Trophy, or we can like play Teague, hold, well, bring back Batter Skull. I think I like playing Teague, playing Stoneforge, hold up 2 mana, and we can play the sword end of turn. Oh, but we don't have enough white mana to go Stoneforge and Teague and fetch in with Stoneforge. This was a tough spot. This is hard. I think our winning play is to play the Stoneforge Mystic and then probably return the Batter Skull. Because like there's nothing that we're really scared of. with Teague. I mean, we don't need to return this ASAP. Maybe we just want to commit more to the board. So it's like, do we want to flash in the sword or do we want to return the Batter Skull? This is a tough spot. I really don't know what the correct play is. The most mana efficient play is probably... Well, it depends. Like, if we don't play this trophy, it's not very mana efficient to play the Gaddock Teague. But maybe play this Gaddock Teague to just to protect all our stuff. So maybe we just do this. It's a tough spot. Because I feel like if I'm going to get this triggering with the Sword of Feast and Famine, I can... And then this is way more mana efficient, so I can like bounce in and then play it. And then like this stops any like them from playing Jace or anything, so... Okay, that's fine. That's not fine. So that screws our line up, but then I don't think they would have done that line anyway. So... Well, we ran out of equipment. That's unfortunate. So we're going to play around Force of Negation. Probably equip Gaddock Teague. There's other Stoneforge Mystic just so we have more power on the battlefield. No, sadly. I think we can ignore the Teferi for now. I guess we can just start cracking these. Scavenging Ooze. And this is what I was talking about. I think Roundsley, you're the one that mentioned if we wanted Plague Engineers, and I think having these swords makes up for it. I'm trying to think if paying 1 life to take a land out is worth it for like Uro considerations. I think since we have this Kaiga, I don't think it's worth it. I feel like I don't want to attack with this Teague, because like if they path it, it's pretty bad. I think I just equip with this Stoneforge Mystic. Let's hold up green mana. Let's tap this correctly. So that way, like, if they path my creature with the sword on it, it doesn't matter. We'd also just kill this Teferi. I think maybe this is a good opportunity to do so. I don't think it's worth... I think it's worth getting the Planeswalkers off the board. And then that way we can, like, play this stuff at instant speed. We got a plains. You didn't expect that, did you? Geist of Saint Traft. Okay. That's Thoughtseize here. I think it's relatively free. Okay. They can either block with the Geist or the Spell Queller. I think at this point, I just do this. Yep. 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 Maybe I should have saved the trophy for swords, but I felt like the way they were like spell quellering, I guess it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt to go with that line. That's a bad top deck. Do you eat with Scoos while Sword Trigger on the stack and then untap land? Oh yeah, I think that's definitely the correct play. I definitely just didn't do that. I just not thinking about it. You're 100% right. They're not blocking. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that now though. Which doesn't really technically matter because it's not like there's any more creatures in the yard. Maybe I was supposed to just use this green mana left and not take the point of damage. Definitely scared of Uro here. Okay. Go to 7. Got a quadruple block here. It's fine. I guess I should have exiled in response, but I don't think it truly matters. Perfect. Nice block. Thank you. Never didn't have the extra scoos. Exactly. So now they have nothing to block. No non-green creatures for this sort of Feast of Mammon. Start eating some stuff. I think I'm just gonna hold off. Starting to become a damage race here. Oh, I could have played this Blooming Marsh. I'm so dumb. I feel like I'm such a high percentage to win. That's just costing me. That's just so dumb. That was not tight at all. I should have played this first. I'm just. I'm so frustrated. Because like my thinking is like I can just make a 1/1 and then just attack through if they end up having something. So it's just like I don't know. But on to game 3. Having multiple Stoneforge Mystics definitely helped. I don't know how useful the Galaxy was. They didn't draw anything that was shut off by it, but they do have Jace. I'm assuming they have Cryptics, right? That is not the taste we have come to expect. I'm sorry, I have failed. I have failed. I was just too excited. Too excited for it. Do we want these Ashioks? We haven't seen an Uro first 2 games. So I'm like, am I... It's like I feel like I'm sideboarding wrong just based on what we've seen, but it's like I'm sideboarding based on what I'm expecting. Ashiok's passive ability is a lot worse on the draw. Maybe I just want like a spell bomb instead. Bringing spell bombs with Lurrus is pretty gas in like these kind of grindy matchups. Yeah, I feel like both of us have not seen like our deck's true potential. Ashok does shut off their Stoneforge Mystic. That is very true. I feel like Liliana the Veil is surprisingly very anemic. Is it bad if I want to cut Liliana the Veil on the draw? Is that too, like... I feel like Ashok shuts it off, but not on the draw, though. That's the thing. So I was like, do I just want, like, Fatal Pushes instead of Liliana? Maybe go like this. Yeah, shown sideboard both games. I agree. Maybe we just go something like this. Let's just try it. What do we got to lose? What do we got to lose? Let's just do it. Like the butter. Come on. If we whiff on a land, I think we're okay. On the draw, let's just do it. We have Lurrus plus Bauble 2. We have another Lurrus to land. Land. Hopefully we have a land. 3 draws for second land. Yep. Yep. Mage do 10. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the siege, my friend. Welcome to the siege. Shark Typhoon. Another reason why Fatal Pushes would be better. I'm glad we boarded in this Fatal Push. I'm glad we swapped it. Feel a lot better with myself now. Second land, second land, second land, second land. That's... We're okay. A little frustrating, but we're okay. That we don't have the second land here. And then we have Thoughtseize for either of these. What's gonna suck is if they Shark Typhoon us. Okay. Do I just attack? They didn't have a second land. I don't think they're gonna trade. Do I Thoughtseize and level up? Is that too crazy? Thoughtseize, take their Battle Skull. Level this guy up. And then they like... and then they board in a Feast and... or flash in a Feast and Famine, but then that's all they're doing with their turn. I think I take this Battle Skull here. It is a lot of damage, but they're also losing on a lot of tempo. I also have Stoneforge Missions I can just block. I think I just take the Battle Skull here. Like, I feel like if they draw any lands, we're just dead. Alright. Okay, that's a good draw for us. Because now we can see they have a land on top. They don't. They have a Noble Hierarch. So they can... They're probably going to fetch it in, flash the Feast and Famine, and they're going to have a Hierarch on the top. So they're probably going to play the Hierarch. So now I have a third land in play. So I'm just going to attack with this Hexdrinker. And then play a Stoneforge Mystic. So they trade. It's fine. Because now they have no creatures to... They have a Veil of Summer. That's something to also think about as well. I think we're in a good spot here. Because for them to have a path, they need a path, but they don't get a trigger. They could also just have a Jace. But Jace isn't that big of a deal. So I think just like playing Lurrus here and bobbling. Just get that engine going, hold this Stoneforge Mystic to block. I don't think the equipment does anything because I feel like if they're gonna equip this Noble Hierarch and then block. So then the other thing is they also could Uro next turn, or they could also Jace next turn too. Which I kind of think I want the... Yeah, they'll probably play the Uro. I agree. Which is why I think I want the Lurrus in play. Let's see what they have. Noble Hierarch. Oh, they had the path. They had the path. Which is fine, because if they equip... Yeah, that's fine. Land off the top would be really good, because we can go Lurrus, Stoneforge Mystic, and bring back Bauble. Trophy is also a good draw. You know the whole hand. I think we played Tarmogoyf and Stoneforge Mystic. Chump with the Stoneforge Mystic. And then if we draw a land, we can go... oh man, they drew the third land. That's not good. And then if we draw the fifth land, we can go... sword equip, and then just play out our hand. We can go Lurrus, bring back Stoneforge Mystic. Holding up Veil too. Really need a land. They're gonna get a trigger in. I guess we get the Lurrus engine going again. So just cantripping with Veil, that's good for us. Knight of Autumn. Well, luckily we didn't play our equipment. Another Lurrus. So we're gonna go to 5. Oh no, is that lethal? Did I do math wrong? 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're 1 short. They're 1 short if they play Sophie and equip. Oh, okay, cool. So they don't have. Interesting. That's the line that they took. Maybe I should have trophied the Sword and Feast of Famine. Maybe that's the wrong line. That's the line I wasn't supposed to take. I guess I should have trophied it. That's not good. I guess this. I can just pitch the sword. I guess I should have pitched Lurrus. That's dumb. Okay. Okay. They did. They did at end of turn, so I could have just done it. So that's why I didn't play it. We're just getting hampered on mana more than anything. But I think I needed to trophy this last turn. I didn't think they'd cycle a Veil. And I think pitching the sword is going to cost us, because now they can just do cycle Shark Typhoon. That was a good block. Do I want to play her on Spell Queller? I don't think I can. Let's just do it now. I think I should have trophy last turn. I think that was an onboard kill, and I just missed it. I think my time is just screwing me up. I think there was a line where I could have won that game, and I just didn't do it. I think I was just more pressured on my clock more than anything. I think I need to rewatch this game. I feel like I could have. I felt like there was a line where I could have won. We were stuck on lands the whole game, which didn't help. I felt like there was a line that I missed that could have won me the game, which is what replays are for, right? How's it going, Fluffy Wolf? I think that's exactly the line. I think that's the turn where I misplayed. I think that I agree with you, Dan. I think that was a turn that I felt like I could give them a trigger, but then they drew the key 4th land, I think, on that turn as well, and I think that's what hurt us also. I think it was correct that Thoughtseize there too. I mean, push the Stoneforge Mystic. I'm also glad I sideboarded that way too. I think taking the Batter Skull here was the correct line though. Maybe this attack here was too egregious. But I know they're gonna board in the sneak in the sword, so it's like I think that's a trade I'm willing to take, just knowing how my hand lines up. They're also stuck on lands too, so I can't really complain. I think this Lurrus turn is fine. I think chumping here is fine. Because I had the other Hierarch in play, and I didn't want them to be able to attack in. I think this attack is okay. If I had drawn a 5th land here, I think I might have been okay. So then I can Lurrus and bring back Stoneforge Mystic and just chump block all day. If I had done that, I think I would have won this game. So the 3rd land sucks. Thessa Botour 98. I just run into Modern and saw you're streaming. I can answer that question in a minute. Let me finish this replay real quick, and then I can answer that question for you. Yeah, I think this is the turn. They're holding up Veil of Summer, right? So this is the turn where it's like, do I expect them to... So that's the thing. Actually, this is the line where the turn where I think it's defensible to not trophy here. Because if I didn't play this Lurrus, I don't think they would have cashed in this Veil of Summer. There's no reason to. So I think with that context, I don't think... A couple of turns back before this, I didn't want to trophy them because they were stuck on lands, so I was okay chumping with Stoneforge Mystic. And if I had drawn a 5th land to play Lurrus with Stoneforge Mystic, I would just chump block their creature with Feast and Famine all day. So I don't think I would have trophied that turn. I don't think I like trophying there. I think this is the turn where I potentially could have trophied, but I didn't have the mana to, so it doesn't matter. Because this is the turn that they veiled. So, but the turn before, I don't want to trophy them because I didn't know they were going to hit their land. So I don't think I like trophying the turn before, and I wouldn't have trophy because how would I have thought they wouldn't have a reason to Veil of Summer unless I casted Lurrus, which took up mana away from casting trophy. So I don't think I played this wrong. Like hindsight's 2020. Like I don't think I could stop this from happening because they're just gonna hold Veil of Summer the whole time. Which is fine. I think that's just how it goes. I mean, it was a good game, and it was close, and I think it could have gone either way, and I think them having a sword stick while being mana screwed, which de-incentivized me from trophying early on, is what hurt. And then them just having actual Veil of Summer sucked. So, to answer your question, Thessa Botour, hopefully I'm not butchering your name. I think the best decks right now are some sort of like Reclamation blue deck. I think Pawns is a really good deck. I think the meta is actually just wide open. So like Blue-Red Prowess is really good. I can see E-Tron being very, very good right now. Ad Nauseam could be very, very good with how slow the decks are. So like, I think the modern meta is very flat. So I don't think there is a clear-cut tier 1. And if there is a clear-cut tier 1, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there are decks that can compete that are tier 2. Like I still think Dredge is still good. I still think Ad Nauseam and E-Tron, I think Jund is still a good deck, and that deck I would consider tier 2. Some people consider that tier 1. And if Jund is tier 1, then really you could really play anything. There's a lot of decks that can prey on Jund. I honestly believe right now you could really play anything and have success. Like I'm playing this deck. Like it's a tier 3, tier 4 Abzan brew, and I'm doing well with it. Knock on wood. Like I'm consistently going 3-2 and 4-1s, and I'll take going infinite online with a deck that people would unanimously agree, myself included, that Jund is just better. And the blue soup decks with Mystic Sanctuary, as if you want to play fair, that those decks are just better. If you're gonna play a mid-range deck, Gruul Ponzo is just better than this deck. But even then, like I think this deck still has legs, and I think that's just a testament of the format right now. So I think it's kind of a cop-out answer to your question, but I really do think you can really play whatever you want. And as long as it has a reasonable floor in terms of power level, I think you can do well with it. And if you pilot at a decent if you pilot at a decent skill level, I think you can do well with it. I don't think there's a bad modern deck right now. Blue-White Control, I think it depends. I think like the old school, like 3-4 years ago, Blue-White Control is, I don't know how good that is. I think like Blue-White Stoneblade is tier 1. I think that deck is very, very good. I think I know Aspiring Spike has been bringing some Blue-White Sharkblade. Like that deck is tier 1. I don't know if that's the kind of control deck you're really thinking about playing, because it's not really a draw go. It's kind of more like a tempo-y, like it's a control deck with Stoneforge Mystic package in it, right? Like if I think that deck's fantastic, and I think that deck is worth exploring. I know one of the if you're referring to Blue-White Stoneblade, play that deck. That deck is fantastic. I think that deck is really good. The deck is kind of getting hated on. I know there's a lot of boils in the meta. A lot of red decks run boil just because it's so good against like the Reclamation decks and Stoneblade, and those decks are very popular. That being said, just watch out for it, right? Like, I think there's room to mess with your mana base a little bit to not be so blown out by boil. There's a lot of good blue-white lands that I think Blue-White Control players need to adapt. I think there's like Rugged Prayer. I think is that an island plains type? I'm not sure, but like Celestial Colonnade is an island. Like you have Glacial Fortress. Those aren't islands, or so it's like you can build your mana base where you can kind of split them, where you have those lands and have fetches. And I think that's the mana base that you're gonna have to proceed with, so you don't get boiled out. But just because there's boil in the meta doesn't mean you should be afraid to play Blue-White Control or Blue-White Stoneblade. I think Blue-White Stoneblade, even with all the boils around, there's still tier 1. So I think that's a testament of how good that deck is. So it's just one of those things where if you're going to start playing that deck, just look out for it, because that's just one of those... Doesn't feel good to get boiled, right? Like a lot of people just scoop to that card. And it's one of those cards where you kind of want to think about when you go start building your deck. So if you have any more follow-up discussion points or questions, type in chat. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get some more water. So give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, of course. I appreciate you tuning in. That's a boot tour. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm totally butchering your name. I'm sure I am. But I appreciate... it's what streaming is for, right? To come hang out, any questions, chat, discuss. I mean, other people in the chat can also chime in on what their thoughts are on the deck. I mean, that's what it's for, right? So, appreciate you for tuning in. Hope you stay and have a good time. Has the souls come up? I have drawn souls against mono red prowess, and I had a line where I could either play the souls or play the sword and equip it, and I equipped it, so I didn't cast Lingering Souls. So it hasn't come up yet, and that's a line, and that's a deck where I think I'd rather have the Purge So we'll see. Jury's still out. See how the Souls goes. I mean, like, the more I think about it, the more I think Celestial Purge is probably just the better sideboard card right now. But against all these blue decks, like, I think Lingering, like, if I drew Lingering Souls against it, like, on that against that game, that would have been game over. Like, I just chump against all those Feast and Famine decks, right? My arch nemesis now. I'm going to fetch Basic Swamp. I hate this matchup. Sure. They kept the one-lander? Do I trophy this forest? If I trophy this forest, they can't do anything. And then I go turn, and then next turn I go Thoughtseize Stoneforge Mystic? I trophy this, right? I think I trophy this land. Let's do it for science. I think this is correct, as bad as this is. Because, like, if they draw a land and they, like, and it shuts them off red too. So even if they draw, like, forest, like, no. Okay, we're still okay. We're still okay. Ugh, they drew the sprawl. That's gross. That's okay, so we can still Thoughtseize. So no payoff. Blood Moon, Lightning Bolt, Season Pyromancer. So we just have to take the Blood Moon. Maybe I was supposed to play the basic forest and I can just play the Stoneforge Mystic and not care. I could also just take the Lightning Bolt. They play Blood Moon. I fetch Sword of Fire and Ice. I think I just have to take this Blood Moon. I think I'm getting too cute. I think I'm getting too cute. And they're just gonna bolt this Stoneforge. If they don't have a land, then they just they take their whole turn. If they draw a Blood Moon here, that feels pretty bad, but then we just like Batter Skull. Like we just hardcast it. Yeah, that's fine. We're in a good spot. If they take the whole turn Spiraling, which they will. They have 2 cards in hand too, not lands. They discarded a Pillage. Wow. Wow. Pillage would have been gasoline. They have 6. This Stoneforge Mystic is just going to take over the game. I love it. What would you like to see? So they need to pillage like right now. They could also just Glorybringer. I guess I had Thoughtseize here. And I still have mana to like equip. Double Glorybringer. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All equipment. Kill that. Just keep the board clean. Let's go. Let's go. Stoneforge Mystic. Love you. Explosives. Pride Mage for Blood Moon. Engineers. Board out the Lilianas. Do we want Lingering Souls? I feel like we do. Don't really know what to cut. Do we want Plague Engineers? I think the answer is no. Do we want this Pride Mage? It's like it only hits Blood Moon. But like if we land it on turn 2, we can just stick on the board, and then like if we can just kill a Blood Moon. So like if they have a Blood Moon play, that's really hard to cast. Maybe Engineers are just better than Explosives. It's such an awkward mid-range battle. It really is. Maybe I don't want these trophies. Because like the only card I really care to kill is, I guess, Blood Moon and Glorybringer, so I guess it's worth keeping it in. Maybe just go like this. Maybe the Souls isn't as good. Maybe I want Plague Engineer instead. So I guess, Dan, for science, I guess trophying the forest was a good plan. It worked out. For science. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep in Lurrus? I don't know. Lurrus just takes over the game, too. It's so difficult to sideboard because I feel like there's no real backwards in the matchup, which makes sense because it's a mid-range game. But it's like... Hand's decent. Hopefully you don't have a turn 2 Blood Moon. We need to get this basic forest in play. Not a good hand. Okay. So this Tarmogoyf is huge. No way. So tilting. So tilting. Oh crap. The Thrun is going to have to... It's going to hit the board. We can Plague Man. Gosh, we really need a basic forest off the top. Come on, deck. You know you love me. Basic forest. Basic forest. Basic forest. If we draw basic forest, we are definitely in this game. Bloodbraid off. Jesus Christ. Come on, basic forest. Come on, basic forest. Again, if we have probably one more draw for a basic forest here. We have one more draw. Because the Goyf just stonewalls them. If they just play this Thrun, like, we have a shot here. If literally the top card of my deck is basic forest, we are alive for this game. Basic forest. Now we are dead. That Blood Moon top deck was really good. Really, really good. For some reason, I think the past, like, 4 times I've played against this deck, I've won the first game, I think, every time. And then I've lost games 2 and 3. Solid. Just mulligan to Oblivion. Just do it. It's fine. Just mulligan to Oblivion. I'm just a Thoughtseize deck. It's fine. So I played a lot of Gruul. Played a couple Super Qs. Trophied a bunch of times with the deck. The deck mulligans a lot. Double Bone Crushers sucks. Tarmogoyf. It's not like we can not cast this. Tarmogoyf would have been a great draw. Yep. I guess there's an argument to not play the Skoos. I'm not gonna play a Lurrus though. I need to get some sort of value. I need a Tarmogoyf. Do I do this again? I think I have to. I could also just Pride Mage it if I need to. I think I have to. Where's the Tarmogoyf? Thank you. Thank you, deck. No third land. Wow. They're just gonna leave my Lurrus unimpeded? That's crazy. Do I just play this Lurrus? I think I have to. I guess I could have predicted that. Hopefully they just draw Arbor Elf. No. Oh, Clothis. Take the Bloodbraid off. Blood Moon. Don't think I care. We're in a race. This is close. They should Blood Moon us. That's the line that they really should take. Yep. I'll take Elemental. Just in case they top deck Spyro. Going for the sorceries. Interesting. I'm gonna hold this basic forest. I think I want to attack with both. They trade here. I think we should get aggressive. I don't have white mana to cast the Casali Pride Mage. So maybe that's an argument to play as Forest. So then I could cast this Casali Pride Mage. I could Trophy Blood Moon. I could Trophy Blood Moon. I died a bolt with this line, so I could trophy Blood Moon, play Kasali Pride Mage, and push the Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, I should have done that pre-combat. Oh, I'm so dumb. Because my opponent would have been at 2 because this has Exalted. I feel like I'm gonna lose because of that. Fetch basic planes. And then I can push this Bone Crusher Giant. Come on. Gosh, that would win me the game. I literally need them to have no top decks. Otherwise, like this Kasali Pride Mage would have been lethal. Ah, I'm so dumb. Oh my gosh, I really need them to. Okay, well that makes it up. Oh, I guess they gain 2 life from Kothis anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just nothing. No. Yes! Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my god. I just need to whiff. I just need to draw like 5 lands in a row. Oh my goodness. Moo. Spam that email. Spam that email. Roundsley, I should ask you what my tier 2 emote should be. That should be your next task, because I know you requested a Siege Rhino emote, and there you go. But I realize that I can have more. I haven't really explored the whole, like what I could really do, like the extreme ends of it. I know people have multiple emotes, and I never really looked at it. So I'm kind of curious. Well, so like I'll leave the floor up to you. Like, what would you want my second emote to be? No Glorybringer. I've noticed that a lot of Ponza players have been cutting Glorybringer, and I think that is not. I think if there's a lot of, I take that back. I think Glorybringers are just better than Elder Gargoyles. I think I've watched Yama play, in the challenge earlier today, and this is kind of like a small sample size, but like I just love how the deck can be an aggro deck. Like it's a mid-range deck, prison deck, but it can also just be an aggro deck, and Glorybringer feeds that kind of game plan. And Elder Gargoyle does not. Elder Gargoyle just kind of just sits there, hope to accumulate value as it attacks. And I think Glorybringer is just better in the deck. There's a spot where he top decked an Elder Gargoyle against Sol Malka on Rock, and he played a 6/6, and his opponent was at 4 life. Like, it just a lot of decks just can't beat Glorybringer, but a lot of decks can beat Elder Gargoyle. Like, in the game, he just double blocked with Tarmogoyf on the Elder Gargoyle, and he drew a card, and it's like, okay, but like Glorybringer wins the game. That being said, like Elder Gargoyle does, like the weakness that Ponza has is Tarmogoyf. Like the deck has a difficult time beating Tarmogoyf in general because it doesn't die to Bolt or anything. That being said, I think that matchup is so favorable anyway. Like the deck is just favorable against Tarmogoyf decks. So it's like, why are you playing a card that beats Tarmogoyf decks when you should just play Glorybringer that just also beats like Tarmogoyf decks and is just better against everything else? That's just my opinion on it. I think it's just wrong. I'm going to play these things, and I'm going to pass. That being said, I haven't tested it a whole bunch, but I think I still stand by it. I think I'm going to fetch a Triome here, and then I'm going to bobble on my turn. I don't know what Scalding Tarn entails. I'm gonna bubble myself and then start fetching. Tarmogoyf. I want a Tarmogoyf. Steam Fence. Is this Storm? Blue Red Prowess is my guess. Hand's pretty good against that. Which is why I kept Tarmogoyf on top. Yeah, I don't like Elder Gargaroth. It's fine. I think it's cute, and I'm sure there are a lot of spots where it's better, but I think over a bigger sample size, I think Glorybringer is just better just because of the haste. I think Elder Gargaroth is probably a fine sideboard card, but I think I'd rather have the haste. Because, like, if you watch, like, my past streams, like, everything in the deck is a 2-for-1. Oh, no, don't blunt me. Okay, that's fine. Everything in the deck is a 2-for-1. Oh, I get to level up this Hexdrinker? This is absolutely bonkers. So, like, why are you... and Elder Gargaroth is a 2-for-1, but not immediately, right? So it's like... I'm going to kill this Narset, too. So it's like Blue Moon. And, like... so if they have Jace, that wrecks us. But if they don't have exactly Jace, this Hexdrinker is going to be really difficult for them to remove it. What did I lose to? What did I lose to? I lost to Bantblade. I'm getting old. It took me a second. Bantblade. Art from the Abzan banner. I was thinking that. I have that as like my Discord banner too. Remand. Hopefully there's no Jace. As long as we can dodge a Jace, we are in pretty good shape. What's a Trident 2 Honey Bear phrase? Let's see what this is. Mana Leak. They're just gonna die this Hexdrinker. All the remands. Oh, the thing about it is like the emote is just so small in the chat. It's like it's hard to like really reference like what's really going on. Oh no. Not a Jace. The thing about it is I don't have rhinos on my deck, and that's what makes me sad. No Jace. No Jace. Cryptic Command. Fair. I guess I'll just take this Narset off the table. I can also see enticed to just attacking them, but I want them to have less draws to Jace. Opponent could be on through the beach. It seems like they're on Blue Moon though. Oh, they're just gonna try to bolt us out? That's gross. 9, 7. So they have another bolt, we're dead. Gotta be careful here. Our hand is just so clunky, which is really unfortunate. If this eats a mana leak, that'd be great. Oh, it got countered. Oh my goodness gracious, that's awesome. That's the thing. If there's only one target on 2 modes and the one target is not a legal target anymore, it gets countered. So black also has a 1 mana Veil of Summer. Just gonna throw that out there. Oh, that's hilarious. I love it. That's awesome. I love it. Hexdrinker just took over that game. Gosh, I love Hexdrinker. This card is good. Like, with Lurrus, it's so good. If you don't run... If you're running Hexdrinker, run a... if you're running a Lurrus, run a Hexdrinker, please. Do yourself a favor. It's really good. Probably just wear out the pass. So it's just like blue-red, Blood Moon. Dot deck. Do we want this Teague? Stop Cryptic. It just dies the bolt. I can see like not boarding in Teague. Lingering Souls is going to be really good in this matchup. Excited to try that out. Probably I saw some Kiki combo Blood Moon decks floating around. I doubt this deck because of Narset. Yeah, it just seems like a straight blue-red control deck. Are you a Cleveland Browns fan? I am sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Do I just trim a Stoneforge here? I could also see just trimming a Feast and Famine. But like growing anything bigger out of Bull Range seems good. Maybe I just cut Stoneforge Mystic. I am also kind of intrigued by Sky's Guile. But I don't know if I exactly want Pride Mage. If it's only for Blood Moon, maybe you're probably right. Maybe you're right. take the Blood Moon here. Oh, if they like get Breeding Pool Veil Summer, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh, sweet. Opt. Interesting why they would do this in response. Because if it's a card that they like, I see. I see. So it's a Days Undoing Narset deck. You can just take Narset here. They snap up like whatever. I could also see just taking crit. This is hard Thoughtseize. I don't think I want the Days Undoing. I think it does nothing unless you have a Narset in play. So I think if I leave the Days Undoing, I have to take the Narset. And I like the Scavenging Ooze for the Snapcaster Mage. Let's take the Narset. That's true, but I feel like they wouldn't really hardcast it unless we're that behind, in my opinion. A Bauble would be a great draw here. Narset. They just don't minus. Interesting. Oh, because they want to play Days Undoing. Darn, that sucks. They got the combo. So what Days Undoing with how Days Undoing combos with Narset is each player shuffles and then draws 7 cards. But since I can't draw cards because of Narset, my opponent wheels and I discard my hand and I'm left with nothing. Or I guess technically I shuffle. So I'm left with nothing in hand. Yeah. Which sucks because I can't counter it with Veil of Summer. So I'm just trying to think if I want to level up my Hex Drinker all the way. I think I just want the card. So I'm going to fetch Godless Shrine, which is going to suck if they Blood Moon me the next turn. But I think we're like just behind as to where Narset. And we're just going to lose our hand, which is unfortunate. I wish Veil of Summer shuffled, but mega yikes. Yep. So they're going for a bolt here. So this is nothing. No bolt, no bolt, no bolt, no bolt, no bolt. Sweet. Cast this cryptic, this no spell bomb. We're in a good spot. We just got Days Undoing, but like, we have a Hex Drinker with Pro Instance in play, so as long as they don't have a Jace, like this Hex Drinker is just gonna win the game. Wow. Nice. Take the opt. I guess I'm gonna play around Blood Moon. Yeah, Keranos, bringing back the Blood Moon days. I agree. I agree. I guess the beauty about it too is if they do try to Jace bounce our Hex Drinker, we just Veil of Summer too. So we do have our outs. Remand. So you can probably kill my Scoos. Oh, me. Wow. Interesting. Didn't kill the Scoos. And they have Remand. Surprising. It's any target, right? Yeah. Interesting. Interesting line, my friend. I guess I can see erasing. That makes sense. That's fine. I'm gonna just Holo Veil. Guess I want to bottom the Scoos. I guess I do want the Scoos. Blood Moon. So they need 3 bolts? They don't even have 3 red mana either? Yes, baby! Let's go! Hex Drinker is so good! Play Hex Drinker in your Lurrus decks, man. This card single-handedly won the game. Both games. So good. Alrighty. So we ended the league 4-1. Not bad. Hype. Hype, hype. Hype, hype, hype. Just for you guys, I'm gonna make Roundsley. You're gonna be a mod since you're always tuning in. I really appreciate you always dropping by. I don't know if it means much, but Dan, you'll also be a mod too to celebrate. Oh my god, I love Hex Drinker, dude. Hex Drinker is just so good. Alright, so recap. So we beat Mono Red Prowess, lost to Stoneblade, beat Gruul, beat Blue Moon, and then, gosh, I don't remember the last. Was it our first match? Oh, and Vine, Crabvine. So we beat Crabvine, Monored Prowess, lost to Stoneblade, beat Gruul, and beat Blue Moon. So yeah, this is a great league. And this is what I mean, like, I'm so close to trophying. I'm like consistently 4-winning and 3-2 with this deck. And this goes back to what people are asking. They're like, oh yeah, how's the deck feel? How good is Abzan? And it's like, it's not better than Jund, and it's not better than the blue spells, but it's doing well. It's like, if I'm consistently having a winning record, knock on wood, so it's like, for playing a deck like this, it's like, I'll take it, right? Like, this deck feels fantastic. Like, the way I built, like, this Stoneforge Mystic Lurrus deck is just, it feels really good, and the results show. The jury's still out with his Lingering Souls. I think it's fine. I can also just see this being a Celestial Purge. That being said, I don't think it's bad. I think I think I might keep this just for science purposes, just to see how far this Lingering Souls goes. But I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can follow me on Twitch. You guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where I post all of my streams. And then you guys can follow me on Twitter. I know my streaming schedule is very, 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 very inconsistent. But that's where you'll find my up-to-date stream times. And if you're not in it, you guys can also join the Abzan Facebook group. And then you can, and that's where I post my, like, oh, I'm going to be streaming. But other than that, I really appreciate everyone for tuning in, everyone hanging out. It's always fun hanging out with everyone. I really appreciate you, Roundsley. You always tuning in every time, and I really appreciate it. Fragrant Waffle, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you tune in enough to kind of check it out. If not, hopefully you can tune in next time where you can, like I said, look at the social media outlets. Other than that, let's just someone at raid. I don't know how accurate my stream OBS tracker is, but it's just 17 viewers. Appreciate all you guys. All you guys make it really, really fun. I'm really appreciative everyone for tuning in. It's what makes streaming fun, right? It's like, so you talk about your lines, talk about Magic, talk about how I messed this up. It's like, my favorite part of streaming is actually when people point out my mistakes, because that's how I get better as a Magic player. And I think that's invaluable. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Just hang out in the chat. Just kind of just dropping your thoughts. You know, it feels great. I want to throw out a thank you to Basic Landshark. I think he's hosting me, which I'm sure is contributing to my viewers. So shout out to him. But other than that, I'm gonna raid this guy. He's playing Jund. So let's spread the love with some BGX players, shall we? Alrighty, everyone. I appreciate it again, everyone tuning in. Take it easy, guys. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.